When your opponent abuses F7 sec. Very good. Okay, we're playing. I'm guessing we're playing Kieran. GLHF. I don't think I've played Kieran before, have I? Have we played before? Is this turn 0? Yes, it is. And I'm black again. I see F7 is undefended. Rookie mistake. F2, rather. Okay. Let's start with a chill. Let's start with a chill frappuccino of our bishops. Oh, Kieran is Narik. Oh, I see. In that case, we have played before. We played very recently, and I got exiled kings, which is no fun. Oh, did I do an oopsie? I very well may have done an oopsie. Have I already? Am I getting sacked? Is this real life? Let's see. Going to a turn where I think I did a silly thing. R.I.P. Semet's computer. These kind of clips are also known as for important negotiations. True. Okay. I don't mind. I don't mind getting super cheesed. If we lose, we lose. Let's cover this square. No, let's kick. Do we want to cover this square or do we want to kick this queen? Probably want to cover the square, right? How does this game work? It's so silly, but I never think about these things because I never encounter them anymore. Nobody tries to do this, and then I somehow fuck up thinking about it on the spot, and I don't have like mental heuristics for how to deal with this because I don't think about it, and so I lose, and it's not a good look. I think I might have lost already. I think it's possible. But I'm not positive. What do I do here? Let's think. Let's think. I want to not lose this rook. I think that'd be good. I also don't want him to sack here. Even if it is defended. I just feel not great about that. It makes me real nervous. What can we do here? Maybe this knight here. Next turn we can fork we can fork defending f7 and the queen. I mean, we'd lose the rook for it, but whatever. I hope somehow it doesn't work and he can't sack. It's a little frustrating. I guess we'll frappuccino the bishop in response. It's got to be said, and I really don't mean this. The stress of playing turn 0 theory is still kind of important. Yeah, a little bit. The only variant with no stress involved is global warming. I beg to differ. In many ways, it is the variant with the most stress involved. I've only played Narik one time, and it's got to be said, between those two games, and I mean this in like an affectionate way, and not in like a diss way, but he is like the cheesiest player who I have played in a while. Like, after the f7 debacle, pretty much all of the games I've played have been like very sort of positional, you know, people don't go for like crazy queen stuff. Until I played Narik twice in a row, and it was exiled kings and then fishing for f7. And that's just how it goes, which, I mean, keeping that spirit alive in the game, I can respect that. Cheesiest player, I'll take it. It's crazy, but nature moves on. They say if you keep staring at the screen while playing global warming, the AI will start making moves. Cheesiest player, that's a respectable title in a game like this. Okay, so my question now is, well, okay, so I don't want to do this because it loses the bishop on the spot. So do I do something silly like rook here, or do I kick the bishop, or what do I actually do here? What do I do here? First of all, I can sack. No, I can't sack on turn 0. No, I can if I move this turn. I can sack on turn 0 with my bishop, right? I mean, I don't know if I have a follow-up. Especially because he opened e3 and I opened b6. which in hindsight, not amazing. But I think if I push here, I have f2 sec on turn 0 next turn, right? Oh, it wouldn't be next turn. It would be the turn after. No, do I have to have pushed? Oh, I have to have pushed turn 4. I think I had to have pushed turn 4. Turn 4. I'm not going to do the math. Then again, cheesing the cheese player, actually, that is quite satisfying. Then again, if I don't have a game plan, doing this feels pretty bad. Yeah, I'm not so sure. He's going to Frappuccino this bishop. What do we do? Do we kick this bishop? Doesn't feel like a good move. I'm almost stuck. Let's kick this bishop. I don't really know what I'm doing. I feel lost. I always feel this way when I play somewhat standard games on stream. Void says have a look at my memes and hashtag memes in the 5D chess Discord. Yeah, that's when you start calculating more than one turn ahead. Okay, so this happened. So we take back. Let's look at the memes channel. What's going on here? How do I delete someone else's code? Yikes. Okay. This meme is not approved on this stream. At least the meme that I'm looking at here. Okay. Whoa. Hold on. Is our opponent giving us the opportunity for counterplay? Can we open up this file right here, right now? Can we just do this? Is this worth? Can we go all out? Can we go balls deep? Balls to the walls? Is this the play? What's the follow-up? I don't know. Not positive what the follow-up is. Takes. Pawn push? Question mark? This has to be worth, right? This has to be worth. This is casual. This is casual as fuck. Smet, that's not my meme. Yeah, okay. Well, I was too... Okay, I think we're gonna go for this. Because I gotta figure out how... I gotta figure out how to get better at these. I think that we do this. I think that not doing this is pretty crazy. And then next turn, we can maybe push here or something like that. Open this file right up. This was a misplay by him, right? This must be. I really need to figure out how to capitalize. I gotta think about this. There must be a way to capitalize here. I think there might be. Funnily enough, those two expressions. Wait, that explains why your position is so good and you're not flagged yet. Okay. GG, Lexi. You got me this time. Okay, so one thing that I'm aware of is this triagonal. I do want to block this triagonal. Like this or something. I also want to threaten recting him. Let's see, how many turns? So going backwards from here is open season, right? So if I move through here, then I move to, so this is E4, E3, E2, E1. We've got the clear shot, right? So next turn, my queen has to be on E4, or what is this? Sorry, E5. So this turn it would have to be, no, sorry, hold on. Let me not be stupid. Does this, but then he can deliver a check. Okay, so I need to hit E4 on this turn. I need to hit E4 on this turn, which means that next turn I need to hit E5. I need to be on E5, which means the turn after I need to be on E6, which means the turn after that I need to be on E7. So I should be able to push here, then block the triagonal here and still be alive. Then my bishop here will be mate. Is that right? I think so. I think that's right. No, I need to push it twice. Ah, God, I don't want to lose this to something silly. So I need E5. Well, okay, if he pins the pawn, then we can push here, and then he'd have to go here, which would recapture. Okay, I'm happy with this move. I'm happy with this move. After bishop e7, you still have to push the pawn once more. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right, because then it'll be there the turn before. So if I double push the pawn, which I can't do. Well, that's interesting. Maybe this was the wrong move. This is no longer. This is of course no longer. I don't want to throw this away. Maybe I already have. But I think this might have been the wrong play. So let's think. So I need to be on. Wait, does e6 this next turn win it for me? Yeah, because then I'm hitting e5 on this board, e4 on this board, e3 on this board. Yeah, we're home free, right? Yeah. We did it. We did it. Okay. We did. I set it up right. I didn't fuck it up. I was so sure that I was going to fuck it up. I didn't fuck it up. GG. That was a nice little back and forth. That was a good game. It is so rare that I don't fuck up exactly this kind of position on stream. So I'm very pleased with myself. I guess all I need to do to get to the top of the leaderboard is never play ranked. Clearly. Casual games are, when there are no stakes involved and my opponent is similarly uninvested, those are the only games that I can actually win. Cement, you've got to boost your confidence. No, I mean, I've got plenty of confidence. It's, if anything, I have an ego problem that I overcompensate for. That's actually one of my greatest assets, is my humility, Andre. We did it though. Okay, I'm glad that we didn't get cheesed. I'm very glad that we didn't get cheesed. I thought maybe because I opened B6, there was like some crazy shit here where, I don't know what I thought. I thought something, but I agree he gives his opponents way too much credit. I know, I do. Like, I play much better in a crazy way. I play much better for my opponents than I do for myself. Like, I always like sus, and then I end up playing super defensive. And in a game like 5D chess, where you're like, the best defense is to like threaten your own attacks. Andre says, me developing cement is at the end. I know. I'm working on it. It's pretty, I don't know why. I guess it's just a reflection of like my personal anxiety, I guess. I don't know. I also figured out why I play so much worse on stream than I do in like IRL on my own off stream. I think it has a lot to do with the way that I think. Cement, now look at me. Okay. Lexi, me plays first turn B5 and handed brains. Cement, he's a cheese. I know. It's too true. It's a blunder not to do this, right? One turn later. Oh no, was that a blunder? Juggles the beard. I feel so seen. You guys know me very well. I linked it at the bottom of the chat. All right, okay. What's the meme? Me after playing 5D chess at midnight and get exhausted. Did I just download an MP4?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on. I'm gonna mute my desktop audio on stream. Make sure this is stream safe. Okay, that's fine. All right, this is Void's meme. Let's everybody enjoy together.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think my brain just committed suicide.
There we go. I feel it. But I do really genuinely think that I play a lot worse on stream than I do play off of stream. And it's not just the anxiety thing. It's because the way that I think, especially in games like this that require calculation. I was just reading, well, this is going to be a pretty deep cut, but once upon a time I inherited a bunch of math books from a teacher of mine who I was really close to, who had a university math professor who he was close to, who unfortunately passed away. But then he inherited like a huge math book collection library, and then that teacher gave it to me because I was super into math. Anyway, I came upon this book that was written in the 40s, so it's probably pretty outdated and nothing that he's written makes sense, but it's called The Psychology of Invention in the Mathematical Field, and it's written by Jacques Hadamard, who's like a famous mathematician, who's done a lot of stuff, which like Hadamard matrices, which has a lot of applications in like quantum information, which is why I called him a physicist. But anyway, he's basically really interested in the way that like scientists and like famous mathematicians and physicists and stuff like come up with their ideas and think about stuff. And so he talks about these ideas called the fringe consciousness, which he may or may not have like developed himself, but it's this idea that like certain people seem to have this thing where like solutions to problems and like ideas out of situations seem to just come like spontaneously and not through the action of that person like actively cogitating and trying to like grind their own gears and figuring something out and doing something with their own like mental handiwork. And I just like read it, and it was quite sort of like intellectually formative time for me, and it like super jived with me because that's exactly how I feel. Like I definitely submit to that idea of being like fringe consciousness heavy, where I don't like, when I think about stuff, I don't actually do any thinking. It's just like a blank slate. And it feels like I sort of take the piece of paper request and like hand it off to like a black box in the back of my head and then wait for the answer. Like I just like wait, and then hopefully something comes back to me, and it usually does. And then I can take that information and be like, look, I figured it out. Not saying that's like something strictly like special or fancy or like different, you know, like I've got some like gift or whatever, but it's just like different. It's just a different mode of operating where there's like a trade-off. And a lot of people like Gauss and Poincaré apparently like purport to think this way. And I like super think this way. Like the front of my brain, when I'm like trying to solve a puzzle and like doing something like with the, like actively like trying to put pieces together and figure something out, I'm like useless. But yeah, average human, very, very well put. But anyway, my point is, I really rely on that a lot. Like if I'm solving something, then I actually what I usually tend to do is just like sort of put it there. And there's a difference between subconscious and fringe consciousness, because fringe consciousness is sort of something that you can like vaguely like control and direct to look at problems. Like you can put things in your mind that your fringe consciousness then deals with, as opposed to subconsciousness, which you can't really interact with. Anyway, when I'm on stream is the whole point of this. I have to like vocalize my thought process, right? Because that's what makes a stream a stream. I have to like talk through what I'm thinking, and I have to like sort of, there's like a performative aspect to it. And vocalizing my thoughts is like a very not like intuitive action that like comes to me, that's like easy for me to do. Like I really struggle to like put words to things, especially if it's something that I'm like not, that I don't have like a fully formed idea of in my head, which has actually been a detriment in like social situations of mine. But you know, you guys aren't here to like psychoanalyze me and like therapize me or whatever. But yeah, so when I'm on stream, like the fact that I have to actively vocalize what I'm saying like engages my brain necessarily in like the front of the brain, so that I can't do like back of the brain thinking. And so when I'm analyzing like a position and having to like vocalize it to my stream chat, I really have to like actively do that, because like the area of my brain that like involves vocalizing those ideas and like speaking to chat, like that activity necessitates that I am actively using that part of my brain to do like the calculations, which, as I've mentioned a little bit ago, I'm like pretty useless at. Like I'm really bad at that, like actively figuring stuff out, as opposed to when I'm on my own and playing like a game of 5D chess. I really just sort of like go into like a comatose state, and I just like stare at the board and, you know, like wait for moves to happen basically. And then like sometimes they're good and sometimes they're not. But my point is this, and this isn't just an excuse for me to always play bad for the rest of like time on my stream, because it will get more natural for me to talk about my thought process on stream, and I'll get naturally better at playing chess in like the front of my brain. But it really does feel like a much different experience, and I really couldn't put like a finger on exactly why. I was talking to Lexi about this earlier. I'm sorry if this isn't interesting. I'm almost done, I promise, but I just had to get this out there because I was just thinking about it, and you know, like it was bothering me forever, and I finally sort of figured it out. But I was trying to figure out why it was like such a different experience, and why I was playing so differently. And maybe it was like, am I interacting with chat too much, or am I like, you know, is it like the nerves or whatever? But I really do think it is like the act of vocalizing what I'm doing is very much like counter functional to like the way that my brain tends to process things. Anyway, I don't really have, that was just basically, I don't like have a huge thesis that I'm like building up to, so we can play some more games now. But I just wanted to muse on that for a bit. Chuckles the Beard says, that was spooky. I plugged in a controller right before you said sorry if this isn't interesting. Manga has promised keeping you on in the background. All right, well, I do appreciate your honesty. Right now equals thonk. Andre says it is interesting. Well, cheers. I appreciate that. Andre says, I think I've heard that in Olympiads many people read all the problems in advance, so they're sort of getting loaded into the brain. Yeah, I think that's really interesting from like a mental organizational point of view, but also if you submit to this sort of like fringe consciousness idea. I'm not sure, I'm not like a psych person. I've read a little bit on it, but like maybe those are like outdated, you know, sort of like themas in that field, and people don't actually like think about thinking that way anymore. But it just super jives with me, that fringe consciousness. It's a really interesting book written by an actual person who really is like close with other people in the field who are like inventors of mathematics. So I definitely recommend you check it out. I don't know if it's like an academically well-regarded book, but I think it's called The Psychology of Invention in the Mathematical Field by Jacques Hadamard. It's a good read. It's pretty short too. Lexi says it can be tough to comment on a move when you're not entirely sure why you want to play it yourself. Yeah, I think you look for justification, and you only look for moves that have that justification actively if you're like sort of talking to stream in that way, as opposed to just things where like I also don't have, maybe if I had better chess intuition, then it would be easier for like the back of my mind to just like toss out moves willy-nilly as opposed to like really having to cogitate on it. But like, yeah, looking at my games, like those games from that first tournament where I was playing Lexi and I saw this crazy, you know, these like cross 6 timeline moves, and I was like on it. My time management was insane because on the clock, like I had like 4 more mates lined up like on all of these boards if he had like done moves that had, and then I look at like blundering like a triagonal on stream, you know, and it's like I feel like it's a different experience for me. Of course I'm just making excuses at this point, but Pseudo Meta says, I think that what you can do is just spend time being silent while understanding the position and then speak once you've gotten a hold of something. It's something that I think Eric Rosen does a lot, mainly because of his personality. I agree, and Lexi I think was saying that. He was saying like his recommendation was basically to like make your moves more and like in between playing the game, sort of focus on chat more. And I think that's something that I can get better at. I think that's what I meant by like, this doesn't just mean I'll be terrible on stream all the time, because I don't mean it as, you know, I'm just sort of discussing my like lived experience, not, you know, this isn't like a rationalization for, you know, my like own perceived poor play or whatever. Grafalexi says, but it's okay to just say no clue, I want to do this, but it looks right. I think it's more an issue that like I need to like to get the moves from like the back of my mind in the first place, I need to be less engaged in the front of my mind. There's like an engagement and like a disengagement like period that I need to keep up that I'm not good at doing. I mean, again, I think it's something that I'll get better at, like you guys are suggesting, but and I think it probably is more okay than it. Like I really do feel the need to fill the dead air. And like you guys are saying, like other streamers, you know, they're totally okay with sort of not just sort of not chatting for a little bit, and then once they've got the play and then they talk about it, etc., etc. I think that I need to work on like going in and out of that zone a little bit better, but you know, I'll get better at it. Andre says, but I think in psychology there are not many things you can experimentally confirm or deny, so a lot of room for fun speculation. Yeah, there we go. And I mean, this is like, it is a genuine, one of the reasons it just stuck with me so much is that it is just like a lived experience that I've seen this person articulate in a way that I'm like, yes, like that's absolutely how I work. And I didn't know that other people, you know, worked that way, or really like I hadn't thought about that being the way that my brain works. But you know, when I like visualize stuff, I can't really visualize stuff in my head like in any capacity. Like it's just like blackness, you know, even if I try to like picture something like that, I can't really do. So when I like think about stuff, it's very similarly. Anyway, I think that we've discussed this enough. I think it's interesting, but I'd also like to play some chess. So let's keep this train going. This is good. We're playing well today. Since it's all casual games.